That's a curse. But yeah, Cloud9 a long time since they've been in a grand finals basically of an international tournament. They were the first North American team to win an international LAN after 10 years, and that was Pro League finals in Brazil against SK Gaming. So maybe a sign of things to come, maybe potentially revenge for SK, but we'll see. I think the big reason for why Cloud9 has been performing better and got to the semifinals here is actually Skadoodle. I think his form in this tournament has been amazing. I think it's maybe some signs or reminiscing of how he played when he was in actual top form, and that's something that every team needs nowadays. If you're going to win tournaments, you need to have a strong offer.
And of course, this rolls quite nicely into the discussion surrounding Cloud9's adamant refusal to alter rosters. They've found their five, and they have made it abundantly clear. You've heard statements via stream, via Twitter, just via interviews, that they're sticking with this, and this is what they're going to try and make work. Starting to see some evidence, Adam. What do you make of that kind of attitude of this is what we want, this is the recipe for success in our eyes?
I mean, both Cloud9 and, for example, NIP are two teams that had a lot of fans. I mean, the fans, they want their favorite team to win, right? And I mean, but I think the team know better themselves what they need to win tournaments, right? Like, sure, if I like football, I'd like to have Messi, Ronaldo, I'd like to have like all the superstars in the same team, right? But you gotta have a goaltender as well, right? So you can't just have all the stars in a team. And I think that Cloud9, they have kind of filled all the positions that they need. I mean, just looking yesterday, I mean, as Janko said, Skadoodle, what a tournament it's had so far. Like, not even looking at stats, just the rounds he's being able to win. Like 2-on-5, 2-on-4, he's just turning him around for his team. And as we see on this on the stream now, like Shroud's clutches yesterday against NIP, they were enormous as well. Two super important, letting not NIP into the back into the game. So I mean, Cloud9 right now are on point, and I'm expecting them to put a real show here against Navi today.
I think there's a lot of excitement surrounding just like, can they keep this up? I think that's a viable question to be had at this analyst desk. Can they maintain this form, the same we saw perhaps in Sao Paulo?
Absolutely, that's the problem for Cloud9, and it has been for a very long time. It's consistency, right? Because they're another one of those teams who's more reliant on individual players and a more loose play style. Obviously, your performance and your results will depend on how those individuals perform, and when you don't have a system, don't have a structure, you succumb to the inconsistency. Cloud9 is aware of that. That's something that they've been vocal about, trying to get better at their slower play style so that they can add another dimension of their game. And I agree, I don't think Cloud9 needs a roster change. I think they need a game style change, right? Similar to NIP, I think the problems were not in the roster itself. I think it was in the approach to the game. The problem is sometimes players themselves are reluctant to change or unaware of that, and at that point, the only thing you can do is change a player, because that brings a new wave of motivation for everyone, and that maybe prompts you to change those things which you should have done even before changing the player.
It's spitting a lot of wisdom there, Janko. It's far too early for all of this knowledge bombs to be dropped.
Sorry, Alex.
That's brilliant. No, fantastic. It's exactly the kind of discussion that Cloud9 have likely had themselves as well, of just kind of, please, stop being stubborn. We've been told this is going to work, and I'm sure, Freiburg, you've experienced something similar. I mean, what are the odds that it's only happening in Cloud9? What are the odds? They must have heard me, because Cloud9 and Na'Vi have come up on the screens, and we do see Na'Vi giving a fraction of an edge here in this one, I'm sure.
Maybe the wedding that Guardian had for, or was it a week ago, and all the team going, there was the recipe of success. I mean, ever